Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 2 video. Recently on the channel we've begun a brand new park build where we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis by recreating that game in Jurassic World Evolution 2. If that at all interests you, feel free to check it out after watching this video here today, because I am sure that this one will for certain capture your interest. Jurassic World Evolution 2 has officially entered its second year of post-release cycle back in November, and since then we have only been given one DLC. Granted, that DLC was an expansion pack with more story and dinosaurs to add. The multi-DLC was incredibly successful and probably one of my favourite DLCs for the game so far. And yes, I am being a little bit biased because of my little Leonard friends being added. But that was released way back on the 8th of December 2022. So naturally the question on many people's minds right now is, when is the next DLC being released? Well, what if I were to tell you it could be announced as early as this week? Be sure to grab some snacks and sit down for this video as I explain why I think an announcement will be coming this week. So, Jurassic World Evolution 2 has released plenty of DLCs since its release back in November of 2021. The game consists of 5 DLCs, but 6 if you want to count the Deluxe Edition Dinosaur Pack as well. The amount of releases give us enough time to find and discover a pattern here for the game. When we take a look at the release of each and every DLC that has been released, we can see a very obvious pattern that looks like about 3 months between releases. The first DLC was released in December 2021, the second in March 2022, the third in June 2022, the fourth in September of the same year, and finally, the fifth was in December. So what's the next expected release for our next DLC? That's right, it's this month, March 2023. However, it is currently the 14th of March as I'm writing up this script, and nothing has been announced just yet, which is slightly weird. When we take an actual look at the specific DLC release day, we can see that they typically release on the 8th or 9th day of the month, with the exception of DLC 3 and DLC 4, which released on the 14th and the 15th day of their month. So this DLC that's yet to be announced so far will be breaking that exact cycle and will officially be the longest we have waited for the new DLC. So understandably, some people must be thinking, are they even going to be making any more DLCs this year? And I can see exactly why you might think that, given how the first Evolution game was kind of left to rot without any information about its cycle ending. But fear not. As in a previous video of mine I've made this year discussing about 2023, we go over some official financial reports that prove that Frontier are set to release multiple DLCs in the year of 2023. When is another question, but we do in fact know that it is happening. But why this week, you may be asking? Well, typically when a new DLC is set to be announced, we can see that the time slot in Frontier's streaming schedule for Evolution 2 is slightly moved around. Usually I believe that they typically stream around 4 PM UK time every Friday or so, but in the past, when DLCs were set to be announced in the same week, the time slot of that stream would be earlier, like 2 PM or sometimes completely removed. Today, Frontier has finally shown us the streaming schedule for this week, and as we can see, there's no Evolution 2 stream set in motion for Friday, which to me, and based off other facts that we have seen in the past, suggests that a new DLC announcement will be announced this week. Now, I think it will probably be announced towards the end of this week, as that would give a reason to remove the stream completely from the schedule instead of just bringing it forward a few hours. That leads me to also assume that next week's Friday stream will be the day that we get to see developers playing the game on stream, which again could mean that a release this time next week could be highly likely for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Again, this is all speculation and theory for the time being, so don't think that this is solid confirmation, but it's enough evidence to suggest an announcement this week with a late release next week as well. And even if this were to be wrong, I again would think that we aren't that far away from an announcement anyways. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can stay up to date with the exact moment when this DLC gets announced. We're currently aiming for over 200,000 subscribers by Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary in June. A little bit of an ask, but it's absolutely free to press that red button and turn it grey, so please do consider helping out the channel if you want that extra bit of Jurassic related content. But in regards as to what this DLC could possibly be, well, we've again discussed this on the channel multiple times, and I'll stick with my best guess here. A second Camp Cretaceous DLC seems highly likely to me. In regards to adding the remaining canonical creatures from the movie timeline to the game, the majority of them reside in the Camp Cretaceous series: Smilodon, Nothosaurus, Spinoceratops and more. The only dinosaur left to be added away from the Camp Cretaceous series would be the Microceratus, sadly. But there's enough creatures remaining from Camp Cretaceous that have yet to be added to make up the numbers for a dinosaur DLC pack. But what if it's more? In my previous videos, we went over the possibility of getting a Manticore Island DLC that would add an island to the game that would change its look depending on where you go on that island. You could be on one side of the map and it's snowy, but on that exact same map when you go to the other side, all of a sudden it's a desert. We also discussed the potential of having ranger teams have Brad skins, which would turn them into robot dogs from the series. And we also suggested that it could possibly be the final time that we could have a chance for the long awaited feature that fans have been asking for ever since 2018, to be given the possibility to control and move our dinosaurs around our parks. There are many more ideas that I have made, so be sure to go on the channel and take a look at that video if you want to find out more and speculate a little bit more about what this DLC could be. But one thing we can almost expect from this DLC is that it will most likely not be a large DLC like the Biosyn expansion or the Malta expansion. It will most likely be a dinosaur pack. From the pattern of releases, it seems likely that the DLC after this expected March DLC will most likely be an expansion DLC to coincide with the celebrations of Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary in June. It also makes the timing of 3 months suitable as well. So, to use a little bit of logic here, whatever this March DLC may be, it will most likely be a smaller dinosaur DLC pack to add possibly 3 to 5 new species into the game. Nothing big, but nothing small. And if it were to be a second Camp Cretaceous pack, it would mark over 1 year since the release of the first one that released back in March of 2022. Well, whatever it may be, I know that it's probably just around the corner from now before we find out something regarding it. I do hope it will be something fun and unique like the second Camp Cretaceous DLC possibility, but no matter what, I'll be here enjoying it and making content for you guys to also watch and enjoy when it does get announced and released. So again, remember to turn that bell notification on when you do subscribe. But most importantly, in the meantime, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month, on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.